The history of the United States begins with its founding in the late 18th century. 13 British colonies on the east coast of North America sought to break free from British rule. They were tired of being taxed without representation in the British Parliament. This desire for independence was the seed that would grow into a new nation. In 1776, representatives from these colonies gathered in Philadelphia to declare their independence. They were going up against one of the most powerful empires in the world. Many were loyal to Britain and did not want to separate. However, the idea of freedom and self-governance was too strong to ignore. The birth of the United States was marked by the signing of the Declaration of Independence on the 4th of July, 1776. This document announced that the colonies were free from British rule. It also outlined the principles that would guide the new nation. Ideas such as equality, rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness were highlighted. These principles were revolutionary at the time and would go on to inspire other nations. The United States faced many challenges in its early years. The fight for independence was difficult and costly. However, the determination and resilience of its people set the foundation for what would become a powerful nation. The Declaration of Independence was a significant milestone in American history. It was drafted by Thomas Jefferson, a young and intelligent leader. Jefferson and others worked together to write a document that would express their desire for freedom. The Declaration was not just a statement, it was a promise to the people of America and the world. It states that all men are created equal and have certain unalienable rights. These rights include life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This was a radical idea at the time. It challenged the traditional power structures and monarchies that ruled the world. The Declaration was a bold move because it openly criticized the King of Britain. It listed grievances against the king, accusing him of tyranny. The signers of the Declaration knew they were risking their lives. If the revolution failed, they could be executed for treason. Despite this risk, 56 delegates bravely signed the document. The ideas expressed in the Declaration remain central to American values today. The American Revolution was a pivotal event in the history of the United States. It was a conflict between the 13 colonies and Great Britain. The war began in 1775 and lasted until 1783. It was a struggle for independence and self-determination. The war was not easy for the American colonists. The British had a strong and well-equipped army. The colonists, on the other hand, had to rely on militias and volunteers. They faced many challenges, including a lack of resources and training. However, they had a strong will and determination to fight for their freedom. Key battles during the Revolution included the Battle of Bunker Hill, the Siege of Yorktown, and the Battle of Saratoga. The support from France, which provided military aid and resources, was also instrumental in the success of the Revolution. The American Revolution ended with the signing of the Treaty of Paris in 1783. Britain recognized the independence of the United States, and the new nation was born. After gaining independence, the United States faced the challenge of building a new government. The Articles of Confederation, the first governing document, proved to be weak. It did not provide enough power to the central government to effectively manage the country. This led to the need for a stronger framework, which resulted in the drafting of the Constitution. In 1787, delegates from the states gathered in Philadelphia to create a new plan for government. The Constitutional Convention was a historic event. The delegates debated and discussed what the new government should look like. They wanted to create a system that would protect individual rights and prevent tyranny. The result was the United States Constitution, a document that outlines the structure of the federal government. It established 3 branches of government: the legislative, executive, and judicial. This system of checks and balances ensures that no single branch becomes too powerful. The Constitution also includes a Bill of Rights, which guarantees fundamental freedoms. Section 5. The Civil War, a Nation Divided. The Civil War was one of the most defining moments in American history. It was fought from 1861 to 1865 between the northern states, known as the Union, and the southern states, known as the Confederacy. The main cause of the war was the issue of slavery and states' rights. The southern states wanted to preserve slavery and believed they had the right to secede from the Union. The election of Abraham Lincoln as president in 1860 was a turning point. Lincoln opposed the expansion of slavery into new territories. His election led to the secession of several southern states, starting with South Carolina. These states formed the Confederacy and chose Jefferson Davis as their president. The Civil War was brutal and devastating. It was the deadliest conflict in American history, with an estimated 620,000 soldiers losing their lives. The war ended in April 1865 with the surrender of the Confederate Army. The Union was preserved and slavery was abolished with the 13th Amendment. Section 6. The consequences of the Civil War. The end of the Civil War marked a new beginning for the United States. The war had far-reaching consequences that shaped the nation's future. One of the most significant outcomes was the abolition of slavery. The 13th Amendment, ratified in 1865, officially ended slavery in the United States. This was a monumental step towards equality and justice. Reconstruction followed the Civil War, a period of rebuilding and healing. The southern states were reintegrated into the Union, and efforts were made to protect the rights of newly freed African Americans. The 14th and 15th Amendments were passed, granting citizenship and voting rights to African Americans. Despite the progress, the aftermath of the Civil War was not easy for African Americans. They faced discrimination, segregation, and violence. The promises of Reconstruction were not fully realized, leading to a long struggle for civil rights. The Civil War also had a significant impact on the nation's economy and infrastructure. The industrialization of the North accelerated, leading to economic growth. Section 7. The Civil Rights Movement, a struggle for equality. The Civil Rights Movement was a pivotal period in American history. It took place mainly in the 1950s and 1960s, a century after the Civil War. The movement aimed to end racial segregation and discrimination against African Americans. It sought to secure equal rights and opportunities for all citizens, regardless of race. The movement was marked by peaceful protests, marches, and civil disobedience. Key events included the Montgomery bus boycott, the March on Washington, and the Selma to Montgomery marches. These events brought national attention to the injustices faced by African Americans. One of the most significant achievements of the Civil Rights Movement was the passage of landmark legislation. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 were major victories. These laws prohibited discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. They also protected voting rights and ended segregation in public places. The movement inspired other groups to fight for their rights, leading to further progress in equality and justice. Section 8. Key figures: Washington, Lincoln, and King. The history of the United States is shaped by the contributions of remarkable leaders. Among them, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and Martin Luther King Jr. stand out for their significant roles in shaping the nation. George Washington, the first president of the United States, is known as the father of his country. He led the American forces to victory in the Revolutionary War and helped establish the foundations of the new nation. Washington's leadership and vision were crucial in guiding the country through its early years. He set the standard for future presidents and laid the groundwork for American democracy. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president, is best remembered for his leadership during the Civil War. He was a strong advocate for the abolition of slavery and issued the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. Lincoln's commitment to preserving the Union and promoting equality was unwavering. His assassination in 1865 was a tragic loss, but his legacy of freedom and justice endures. Martin Luther King Jr. was a key figure in the civil rights movement. He was a charismatic leader and gifted orator who advocated for nonviolent resistance. King's "I Have a Dream" speech is one of the most famous in American history. These leaders left an indelible mark on American history. Section 9. The Legacy, Impact on Modern America. The history of the United States is a complex tapestry woven with the threads of struggle, triumph, and change. The founding of the nation, the Civil War, and the Civil Rights Movement are pivotal events that have shaped modern America. They have left a lasting legacy on the nation's identity, values, and place in the world. The founding principles of freedom and democracy continue to guide the United States. The Constitution remains a living document, adapting to meet the needs of a diverse and changing society. The nation's commitment to equality and justice is a testament to the enduring impact of its founding ideals. The Civil War and the abolition of slavery were transformative events that redefined the nation. The progress achieved by the civil rights movement has opened doors for countless individuals and has set a standard for human rights worldwide. The legacy of its epic journey serves as a reminder of the resilience and determination that define the American spirit.